Did you know that you have the ability to help the way you feel? Now, I know what you're thinking. If I could help the way I feel, I would feel good all the time. And that's just not the case. Now, I never said it was easy, but with a little bit of repetition of an exercise I'm going to teach you today, we see that it is indeed possible. See, if you want to manifest your reality, a prerequisite is to feel good. Ever notice how happy people tend to get what they want? Let's look at it this way. Love is an emotion, and God commands us to love. If it were an impossibility, God would not make it part of our spiritual work. The Torah also teaches that the one emotion we must never aim to feel is anger. And again, if it were physically impossible to accomplish that feat, it would not be mandated upon us. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein once had a student who would drive him home every day in order to hear the rabbi's stories. One day, the student unknowingly closed the car door on the rabbi's finger. Because he didn't want to embarrass his student, he carried on with the car ride with his finger stuck and in excruciating pain. He didn't even let out a peep. He definitely felt the pain, but he didn't allow himself to suffer. What we must understand is pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. When we experience a painful emotion, it usually means that we have an unmet need. Each of us has an inner child inside, the 5-year-old version of ourselves who didn't receive the love, attention, validation, or recognition we desired. As a result, what manifested was an adult with an inner child who, when his or her needs are not met, responds with anger, defensiveness, or demands. What I like to do when I sense my inner child want to come out in tantrum is a technique I learned from the holy Piazetzner Rebbe. He says, when one feels triggered, step outside and take 5 long, deep breaths. Now, I take it one step further by asking my own inner 5-year-old, what do you need right now? Sometimes providing myself with the listening and self-love that I'm seeking from others is enough to quench my inner child's thirst for connection. I know it sounds weird, but trust me on this, it works. According to cognitive behavioral therapy, when we change our behavior, we change our psychology, and as a result, we can change how we feel. So instead of jumping to get reactive, go against your nature and take a loving distance from the situation. Emotional pain is simply a story filled with information, informing us of what we need in that moment. Instead of being reactive, be proactive. From that place, you can start to take responsibility. Sharing is caring, so if you liked what you've heard, pay it forward. And as always, happy manifesting. Happy